Underwood. Thin ice! To smoke some weed and shut up. My God.
Oh, I thought for sure.
There it is. Boom!
Yes! Okay, riding solo today, Illini Basketball Podcast, episode 178, brought to you with in cooperation. I don't know what you Armchair Illini. Shout out Armchair Illini, armchairillini.com. You can check all that stuff out. Game day, quick turnaround after a Friday night win for the Illini. A lot of stink from the football team yesterday. We could maybe get to that at the comment section once too. Ethan Carter riding solo on the show today. Tyler will make his return. I'm sure for the next episode he will be back. I will say the watch party tonight, there was a watch party on schedule for tonight. I am still 50-50 on that one. Tyler could get in virtually on that one, possibly at some point during the game. If I do it, we'll see. Maybe take some comments on whether people want to see that tonight or not. But the game is in 3 hours, 7 o'clock Central. We'll preview that a little bit. I haven't done a ton of work looking into this Southern team they're facing. I got to edit something here on the Facebook real quick. I accidentally preview the matchup against Valparaiso, which is wrong because they play Southern in this one. Hopefully the commenters can save me from being alone the entire time. I also need to plug my phone in as well. But anyway, I can't imagine how hard it would be to do a 4-hour radio show, especially like in the overnight. Shout out to all the overnight radio hosts out there in the sports world, because I'm sure it's not, the type of people that are calling in during those shows, probably, vary in terms of what's going on there. But anyway, let's get to it. Illinois beating Valpo 87-64. Steve, how you doing? Welcome. Pretty much your typical Illinois game to this point this season against these lower level opponents. They were down 45-38 at the half, allowing 45 points in the first half to a Valpo team that is the 358th ranked efficiency offense in the country out of 363. See, Tyler's here in spirit. There you go. This is a bad Valpo offense that Illinois faced. And you got to give credit to Isaiah Stafford. He really, really, really played well. Had 30 points in this game, made 11 shots. 11 of 23 from the field. It kind of begs the question of why Terrence Shannon or Ty Rodgers isn't just completely shadowing one of these guys for the half. I mean, he had 23 or 25 of those points in the first half, but obviously Illinois dominated the second half, 49-19 advantage in the second half. By the way, I don't have any Brad Underwood quotes for this, so I apologize. If anybody wants to throw any in the comments, we could talk about them there. I guess I could also look them up myself. But anyway, this is what happens when Illinois schedules a Friday and a Sunday game. It's tough. Overall, I think Illinois really needs to figure out their offense in the first half. And in this game, defensively, they weren't great in the first half, but also you have to give some level of credit to Stafford for being as dominant as he was in the first half, scoring at will, making a ton of shots. Like I said, 11 field goals is no joke in college basketball. No Coleman Hawkins in this game. Very notable. He didn't play. The knee injury, I don't know what his status is tonight. I haven't seen an update on that. But I have to imagine that he probably sits this one out too. If I had to guess, that would be my guess. Yes, all by myself. I would guess that Coleman is out tonight, and I think that's a good thing for Dane Danger. We'll get to him here soon. Other thoughts, 24-8 in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Illinois really set the tone there. Players of the game. There's only one game. I went with Terrence Shannon Jr. on my end. He was 7 for 14 from the field, 50%, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, had 7 rebounds, all in the defensive end, 4 assists, only 1 turnover. We saw him make a basket with his right hand, made some key shots, took over the game when he needed to, as Brad put it in his post-game on the floor interview. I believe he said Terrence Shannon Jr. decided to play in the second half, and he did. 27 minutes, didn't play a ton, didn't see a lot of Shannon in the first half. I have to imagine he played at least 15 minutes in the second half. He wasn't out there a lot in the first half, which was probably a confusing thing to happen. But Shannon was great. Tyler's player of the game is Dane Danger. Like I said, we'll get to there on Dane. He was 80% from the field, 8 for 10, really dominated. in the paint. Did what he was supposed to do. 0 for 6 from the free throw line. I don't think we've seen a Dane performance that bad at the free throw line at all in his time at Illinois. It's been bad, but 0 for 6 is a different level. 7 boards, 2 blocks. I think one thing about Dane this season that we've seen is defensively he's there against these opponents at least. Even in the Marquette game, a lot of people complained about Dane, but like we said on this show, defensively I thought Dane was fine in that Marquette game. And in this game, he played 21 minutes, 16 and 7. You'll take that any day of the week, especially 80% from the field. And Illini, a team that needed to do better from 2-point range than they did against Marquette. They did so in this game, 24-47 from that range, 51%. They were 9 for 28 from 3, 32%. You'll take that. 12 of 24 from the free throw line. That's bad, but 6 missed free throws from one guy is going to take its toll. And then Goody missing 2 free throws. That's not great either. Jeffrey Otts is here. He says, Ethan, fire equals Dane playing like he did last game. Okay, so now I know what fire is. Shannon played with his feet under him. Guys got experience on the floor. Hansberry showed a little good game overall. Yeah, sure. They just got to figure out how to not get off to such bad starts and get bombed offensively by another team. Their offense looks so stagnant in early parts of the game. Underwood said his free throw shooting is not – there's not very many big men out there that can't shoot jumpers that can shoot free throws. So we shouldn't expect Dane to be a good free throw shooter. But 0 for 6, give us at least 2. Give us at least 2 free throws. 2 for 6, you can live with that a little bit. One thing about the free throw shooting is Ty Rodgers was 2 for 2 in this game. You'll take that. Minutes breakdown, no player on the Illini played more than 27 minutes, 27 for both Damask and Shannon. Danger with 21. Rodgers with 20, Guerrier 15, Goody 26. Luke Goody again hitting the 3 ball, 4 of 9 from 3, had 13.7 rebounds and an assist, 1 block, 1 steal. Probably the most complete Goody performance we've seen at Illinois. Justin Harmon gave solid 20 minutes, 3 of 8 from the field, made a 3. Amani Hansberry had 5 rebounds in 15 minutes. Really just drilled the point home that Amani Hansberry is useful right now in some areas of the game, but offensively there's a lot to be done there. Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn, not great. 1 for 5 from the field, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and a turnover in 15 minutes. And we got a lot of Nico Moretti, 13 minutes, 6 points, 2 of 2 from the field, 2 for 4 from the free throw line, 2 assists and a rebound and a steal. I will say about Moretti, he is not ready at all defensively. Defensively, Moretti is a disaster, I think is the word that I would use for it. Not good. Tyler wants me to remind everybody that Illinois was getting killed in the first half when he played the bulk of his minutes. So, yeah, Moretti did a lot of positive things on the offensive end, but he was also – his plus-minus was 0. So that tells you he was getting a little cooked out there defensively. Steve says Luke looks like he'll be starting soon. I think he's playing well enough to be a starter, but I really like the spot he's in coming off the bench right now. And his minutes are going to vary on how he's playing. Like when he's shooting the ball like this, he's going to play this level of minutes. Jeffrey Otts said he shoots free throws with no touch, no softness. I think that's kind of what Ty does as well. But Ty did make both of his this time. Goody has been great the last 2 games. Yep. That doesn't make sense. The only guy that was positive in the plus minus? Or do you mean not positive? Whatever. Yeah, interesting to see what the rotations are tonight because they were pretty wacky. There was a lot of DGL Moretti together minutes, which I think is very weird. But maybe Brad's trying to look at different lineups, figure out different lineups. I don't think we're going to see – only guy that wasn't. Okay. I don't think we're going to see a lot of Goody – or not Goody. I don't think we're going to see a lot of Moretti DGL minutes together in bigger games in Big Ten play because you look at the Marquette game – we had 7 minutes for DGL and nothing from Moretti. So that shouldn't be a surprise. Let's see. Is there anything else notable from this game? Illinois, by the way, is 345th in the country now in free throw shooting. So that's not great. Coleman playing tonight. Have they put anything out? I haven't seen anything. I don't know if anybody in the chat has seen anything. I haven't seen anything. I would have to assume, like Jeffrey says, or he wants to see Hansberry a little more. I think you'll see more Hansberry if Coleman continues to be out. But other thoughts. Tough game for Damask. Had a real bad sequence there where he threw it away, then had a 3 blocked, and then got cooked on defense. Just some bad sequences there. A little bit of a letdown after a good game. His stat line, 7.6 rebounds, 3 assists is fine, but he also had 3 turnovers, and he was 2 of 9 from the field. See if we get more out of Damask tonight. Ty Rodgers not playing a ton of minutes, but still effective at 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 10 points on 4 of 6 shooting, made both free throws for the first time in his career. I have to assume that he's made 100% of his free throws, unless he went 1 for 1 in the game last year, which he did. There you go. Against Lindenwood last year, Ty 1 for 1 from the free throw line. This time, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. I think this rotation that we saw against Valpo is something we will see plenty of tonight. But like I said, I'm curious to see how many minutes Moretti has. It is notable that per KenPom, Nico Moretti had the best offensive rating out of anybody on the Illini at 160 yesterday. Friday. So, like I said, Moretti offensively, there's something there, but defensively is just so bad right now that it's unplayable against some of these better opponents. Tyler, not here, but chiming in the comment section. TSJ said they were flat and shoot around and started flat, and it won't happen again. Not sure I believe that. Yeah, I mean, he says that as if they haven't started slow in 3 of their 4 games, all 3 of those games being against bad opponents. Do you know what Stafford shot percentage-wise that first half? Guy couldn't miss. Yeah, I don't know that exactly, but I mean, he finished 11 for 23, and I feel like he missed several shots in the second half. So I have to assume that he put up some serious numbers efficiency-wise offensively in that first game or in that first half. But overall, win is a win. Out-rebounded them 60-51, 15-15 on the offensive glass. Illinois 9 turnovers, Valpo 7. Illinois 4 blocks, Valpo 7 blocks. How about that? 4 steals on each side. Illinois has got to be better from the free throw line. Three-point percentage was fine. Quincy Guerrier, by the way, 0 for 5 from 3 in this game. He just can't buy one. I think his first one of the night went in and out. So he's now 0 for 7 from the 3-point line in the last 2 games, and overall a measly 1 for 13 from 3 on the season. I think he'll get going. It's a veteran player. He'll figure it out. But yikes right now, shooting 7% from 3 to start the season. But yeah, Illinois, you do what you got to do. I mean, they still end up winning this game by 23 after being down 7 at the half. I feel like we have to take that. There was a lot of Brad criticism in the watch party comment section. I don't know how you can really blame Brad a ton for some of this stuff. I think there are spots where you can blame him, but I find it hard that you blame him for a lot of it. I don't know. Let's see. Anything else from this game? Props to Valpo. They played really hard. Obviously, they were out of gas late in the second half. They played the way that their coach wanted them to play. Roger Powell, former Illini, coming back. I didn't mind the slow start. Naga were getting owned, plus guys were getting floor time. Yeah, and there's also something to the fact that Valpo scored a lot of points. Illinois only allowed 19 in the second half. They probably allowed 15 points in the first 5 minutes of the game. So you got to give credit to Valpo's guards who were making shots. And Jerome Palm had 12 points and 10 rebounds. And Cooper Schweiger, the freshman, started to cook Luke Goody there for a little bit in the second half. But a win is a win. Illinois now 3-1 on the season. They have 2 more games before a game at Rutgers. And tonight they take on Southern. Illinois against Southern. Illinois 3-1, Southern 1-3. This is a Big Ten Network game. Like I said, I'm still 50-50 on whether I will do the watch party or not. If the people in the comments really want to see it, I will do it. But we'll see. It's in your hands, I guess, guys. But Illinois taking on Southern. This is a Southern team that is 1-3 in the season with losses to TCU. They lost by 33. And then UNLV, they beat by 14, which is really weird. What the hell happened to UNLV in that game? Arizona beat them by 28, and they lost to Western Illinois on Friday night by 8 points in overtime. This is a Southern team that is the better of the 3, I would say, on paper. Between them, Valpo, and Western Illinois, I would say Southern is the better. team of those three. But you got to give credit to them for beating UNLV. I mean, that's a weird loss for UNLV. But Southern, by the way, doesn't play a home game until December 9th. Their first 8 games of the season are on the road, and it continues with this one tonight. Illinois comes in 20-something point favorite, I believe. Illinois comes in as a team off of a win. Southern comes in off of a loss. You look at the offensive side of the ball, Southern 270th in efficiency, according to Ken Palm. Illinois now 58th. Illinois' offense slipping down the charts. Defensively, Illinois 16th in the country in efficiency, and Southern 287th. So Southern slightly better on offense than defense, but really not a huge difference between the two. Two teams here that are some of the worst in the country at free throw shooting, so that'll be interesting to watch. Illinois, major advantage in 2-point percentage. Southern, a top 120 team from three, though. That's where Illinois could get in a little trouble if Southern starts to knock down some triples. Illinois defense, though, has forced teams into some bad shots. What else do you want me to say? Illinois is a better team on paper. But Southern does have some shooters from three that have gotten off to solid starts this season, so that's maybe where a concern would creep in for Illinois. By the way, Luke Goody is shooting 48% from three this season. Terrence Shannon is shooting 39%. Other than that, it's been tough. 28% for Damas, 25% for Harmon, 7% for Guerrier, 14% for Hawkins, and 20% for DGL. So shout out to Luke Goody and Terrence Shannon for making threes when Illinois needs them the most. Overall, Southern's just a really, really bad team. That's what it is. They're not good. Projected lineup for Southern, you look at their lineup in the last game. At the 1, you will likely see 5'9" Antoine Jacks, who really plays the 2, but he is the shortest player on this roster, a shooter, 1 of 1 from 3 in the last game. Then next up at the 1, you will see Tejane Diomasi. I don't know how the hell to pronounce this guy's name, but he's running the 1 there. Had 5 rebounds and 7 assists against Western Illinois, 10 points. Next up, Terion Joseph, Radford transfer, had 23 points in their loss to Western Illinois. Also had 22 against Arizona, 22 against UNLV, so he's been lighting it up 20-plus in the last 3 games. Next up, you'll have Jerron Wilkins, the sophomore big man, or senior big man, junior college transfer, 12 points, 9 rebounds in the last game against Western. And then Delang Wan, who's probably actually the real big man, freshman from Australia, not playing a ton of minutes, but did start in the last game. So we'll see if he starts in this one. Off the bench, Jordan Mitchell, a guard who can score and has played 20-plus minutes in 3 of their 4 games. Brandon Davis, another guard off the bench, had 6 points and notably had 20 in their first game against TCU. And Derek Tizzino, the 6'5" guy who really plays the 3 of the 4, a former Stephen F. Austin player just a couple of years ago, played 20-plus minutes in the last 2 games. So there's a lot of different options here. They kind of throw different rotations out there. I'll be curious to see what Illinois gets from them. This is a Southern team that scored 44 points in the second, or 40 points in the second half against Western Illinois, only to lose by 8 in overtime. They're outscored by 8 in overtime, so not great. They shot 3 of 15 from 3 against Western. Then they shot 6 of 29 from 3 against Arizona, and then 11 of 18 from 3 against UNLV. So the one game they won, they shot 61% from 3. So Illinois is going to want to guard the 3 better than they did in previous games. They were 10 for 24 as well against TCU. So basically, don't let them make a lot of threes. That's what it comes down to. Guard the 3-point line well. Did you see FAU lost to Bryant? Yes, I did. Don't love that for Illinois, playing them down the road, but weird losses happen in non-conference. Cost of doing business, part of the game. DGL game tonight, possibly. We'll see. Be interested to see how his minutes are handed out. I'm barely at 20 minutes. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to stay afloat here. Let's see. Illinois, Southern tonight, 7 o'clock, Big Ten Network. No clue who is on the call for this one. I feel bad for whoever is, Illinois has a lot more experience than Southern. How about that? 333rd in the country is Southern at experience. They're a smaller team, too, 346 in the country average height. Illinois 15th and 28 in those categories. Southern 41.9% bench minutes, 14th in the country. Illinois 15th in the country in that stat. How do they match up size-wise? Yeah, Illinois got a huge advantage. Southern does not have one player above 6'8", except for Brente Noel, who played 15 minutes against Western, 21 minutes against Arizona. Maybe I can't get to an hour. 40 more minutes, I could do that easily. I don't know. Got to be a Bardo game? Probably. I could see it being a Bardo game tonight. Overall, though, like I said, Illinois got a big advantage in this game. It'd be nice to see them go out there and just bury a team, just beat them from start to finish. We haven't seen that this year. We haven't seen it. Slow start against Eastern, slow start against Valpo, slow start against Oakland. It's been their MO. They got to get away from it at some point. Not a slow start against Marquette, though. It was a fine start against Marquette. Okay, let's see. Players to watch. I didn't even pick one. So Tyler's got Moretti on the Illini side, apparently. I think that's what he said. So my player to watch, though, would probably be Dane Danges to see how he follows up this performance, shooting 80% in the last game for the Illini. Embrot says another slow start will be ugly in the locker room. I don't know about that. I think they got enough veterans to keep the locker room afloat. But, I don't know. It's notable that Illinois is number 3 in 2-point percentage defense and 80th in 3-point percentage defense. I think Illinois guards these things well, but I think some of the 3-point defense stuff is kind of luck in some areas. But it would be nice to see Illinois force some more turnovers in the defensive end, kind of up the intensity on the perimeter, especially when they have stoppers like Rogers and Shannon. Several coaches have already said, hey, those two guys can guard. I would like to see them just lock somebody down from start to finish. Sky Clark going to beat Texas 59-58, 8:16 to play. Surprised Louisville is hanging around. I mean, you look at the first game of the Empire Classic, UConn destroyed Indiana. I'll go around the Big Ten here in a minute, just a couple thoughts on the Big Ten. But if you want to see a Feast Week preview, folks, let me send you over here and give myself a promo here momentarily. Oh, my God. Okay. My headphones. Let's finish this preview here. If Danke's playing that, we're going to be tough. Shannon will come out to play early, would be my guess. Yeah, sure, hopefully. I mean, hopefully Brad lets Shannon and Rogers loose. Let the dogs out. What are we doing? Let the dogs out. That's what we want. That's what we want to see. Let me know in the comments. Do you want to see Brad Underwood finally let the effing dogs out with Terrence Shannon and Ty Rogers? It's time, folks. It's time. Let them loose. Did anybody not see what Terrence Shannon did to that white kid on Oakland in the second half? It was embarrassing. But that's what it should be every game. That's what it should be. Predictions. Let me try to get the banner up here. I keep forgetting to put banners up. I got 91-63 for Tyler. That's his prediction. 91-63, so that is 28-point win. And then I'm going 82-60. Illini win by 22. I hope they score more points than I'm predicting, and I hope Southern scores less. But sometimes these low major teams can just make threes, and you're in trouble, and that happens frequently. So I hope it doesn't happen like that, or else we'll have to do this to Brad. Underwood.
Thin ice!
People often say that I shouldn't, defend Brad and I should call for his job because of that clip. That clip was many years ago. Many things have happened since then to justify Brad's employment, okay? Many things. Let them loose, but maybe save a little for big games and Big Ten play. Yeah, obviously. But, I mean, they didn't play very many minutes. Ty Rogers has not played a ton of minutes this season. He played 16, 24, 29, 20. And Shannon only played a lot of minutes in those two games in between the first four. So Oakland and Marquette, he played 35+. But, yeah. 82-60 for me. Tyler's got 91-63. We both think they're going to win. We both think they're going to win by a lot. Hopefully they are actually leading and dominating the entire game. That's what we want to see. On the glass, from the field, in the paint, on the perimeter, on the sidelines, everything. Just do it. That's all you got to do. Just do it. All right, let's go around the Big Ten real quick here. Couple things from Friday night in the Big Ten. Maryland losing again. Maryland now is 1-3 on the season. They scored 40 points in a loss to Villanova, a 57-40 loss. Indiana now 3-1. They had three really, really weird performances at home where they squeaked away with wins against inferior opponents, but they lost by 20 to UConn today. UConn, very good once again. Purdue plays in Maui starting tomorrow. Michigan State has a game against Arizona coming up on Thursday. So that'll be an interesting game, a little neutral site action at Acrisure Arena in Palm Springs, California, between Michigan State and Arizona. It should be a really, really good neutral site Thanksgiving Day game. Michigan lost to Long Beach State in Ann Arbor on Friday night. Michigan's defense still a concern. Their offense, though, very, very good. 24-6 at 12. That'd be great if Illinois is up 20. That'd be great. That would be really good. But yeah, Michigan losing there. Iowa plays Oklahoma on Thursday, neutral site game. Wisconsin plays Virginia tomorrow in Fort Myers. So that'll be an interesting game. Virginia, a quiet team this season, but a 4-0 start. They beat Florida already. Nebraska. How about Nebraska? 5-0 on the season. Haven't played anybody of real significance yet. They did beat Oregon State, though, by 21. Oregon State's terrible, but still. They play Creighton in a couple weeks, but also Duquesne on Wednesday between Nebraska and Duquesne. Duquesne, a good team. So Ohio State 2-1. They play Alabama on Black Friday. Northwestern lost to Mississippi State today in the finals of whatever they were playing, and I can't remember what it was. But they look pretty good. They beat Rhode Island by 11. They're 4-1 in the season, though. Got suffocated by a very, very solid Mississippi State team. Rutgers, they play St. Peter's on the 27th, and they play Illinois, so not much going on for Rutgers. Penn State, they will be participating on Thursday, a rematch from their tournament game. I can't remember where this is at, but they play Texas A&M from State Farm Fieldhouse in Florida. I can't remember which event that is, but there you go. And then Minnesota choked against Missouri on Thursday night. Their next big game is the 26th, so next Sunday against San Francisco. Let's see. That's around the Big Ten, I guess. Let me give myself a little free plug here. We're going to see a little Feast Week preview as we get ready for the Feast Week in college hoops. I did a 29.5-minute preview and predictions for Feast Week on the Substack. You want to check out the Substack, bada bing, bada boom. I'll give you a link right here in the chat. Self-promotion action there. I'm allowed to do it. It's my podcast. I can do whatever I want. Got into some stuff, results from the action this week, as well as NIT season tip-off, Vegas Showdown, ESPN Events Invitational, Battle for Atlantis, Maui Invitational, Empire Classic preview. Empire Classic right now, Texas only up 3 on Louisville, under 7 minutes to go. And so also a podcast version of this in the podcast feed as well if you want to check that out. Okay. Final thoughts. Illinois Southern tonight. Big game, sort of. Big game for Southern, I guess. Should be an interesting game in terms of evaluation, the rotations. How does Illinois look out the gate? A lot of questions to be answered there. You can check out the Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, 700 Broadway Avenue in Mattoon, Illinois. www.alamo-steakhouse.com. I don't have any of the specials or anything in front of me. Tyler is usually the ad read guy for writing it and such, but you could check out alamo-steakhouse.com for all the details in Mattoon, Illinois. Shout out to them for sponsoring the Illini Basketball Podcast. At Podcast Illini is our Twitter. If I am not doing the watch party tonight, which I'm leaning towards no, unless Tyler really wants to do it or the fans really wants to do it. But if this doesn't happen, our next watch party is not scheduled until the Florida Atlantic game at MSG in early December. So that would be 3 games to row off. Maybe we'll make up for it and do the Rutgers game, possibly, if we can figure that out schedule-wise. We'll see, but not sure if I'll be live tonight. If I am not live, I will be tweeting during the game at Podcast Illini. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, leave a review. If you want to sponsor us, hit us up, DMs on Twitter, or email at IlliniBasketballPodcast@gmail.com. And all that good stuff. Like I said, I'll be on Twitter tonight if I'm not doing a watch party. Now we're going to do the last call. Jeffrey wants to know, who do you think the best team in the country so far? I want to say Purdue, but I feel like that'll turn into an argument. So if I can't say Purdue, then I think it's Kansas. I think I like Purdue, Kansas, and UConn right now are kind of the top teams that I've seen. I also think that Arizona is up there as well. We'll see a lot of these teams. I mean, the Maui Invitational is going to be great. That's got Purdue, Kansas, Marquette, Tennessee. Who else is in that? There's another team in there. Purdue, UCLA is good. So, yeah, that'll be really good. Schlagboy wants us to do it. We'll see. I might do it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to keep it scheduled. I mean, the game doesn't start for 2.5 hours, so I still have decisions to make there. But overall, we'll see how the Illini do tonight. 7 o'clock, Big Ten Network, State Farm Center, Champaign, Illinois. November 19th, 2023. Might see for the watch party tonight. Might just see on Twitter. We'll do an episode sometime next week before Thanksgiving. Hopefully Monday or Tuesday we can do it. Jeffrey thinks Arizona's the best team in the country, but they're all – yeah, it's very early still. Nobody's played more than 5 games this season. That's notable. So Houston's 5-0. They've played 5. Another team, Mississippi State's 5-0, but not everybody has played 5 games. So it's going to take some time. It's going to take another month or 2 before we really, really know. But I think there are 4 or 5 teams you could throw number 1 right now, and I'd be like, okay, I think that works. But all right, that's going to do it for me. Like I said, something will happen tonight, whether it's on Twitter or during the watch party. Go to ESPN right now, watch the end of the Texas-Louisville game, and we will see everybody next time.